Overseer's Log 16. Something wicked this way comes. Hello, Vault Dwellers and Wastelanders. My name is Kyle, and you are joining me in the new Overseer's office. I'd like to apologize right off the bat that there is going to be a little bit of an echo as I work to fill in this beautiful office, which is very empty. I'm a guy who just left an emergency housing situation in the spring, and I've been staying with friends. You probably know that beautiful set I was working from over the last couple months, and we're moving. I have moved. I'm out of the basement, and I'm here in the office. I've got Louis sleeping on the floor over there on this lovely throw blanket that he has down there. But yeah, this is a great change and has so much room to grow here. But it's, of course, going to have a little bit of a moving in hurdle for a bit. I'm working on this very tiny, cheapy desk right now. My background isn't exactly what I'd like it to be. I'd really like to get some nice bookshelves and do what was there. But this is the built-in kind of executive cabinetry that's in the background. I also want to apologize that this episode is getting recorded on July 4th, and the last real episodes I published were mid-June, and I want to give a little insight into that, I should say. It was not terribly hard to get this office, but there were a couple weeks of no communication back and forth, and it was really hard to know if this was going to materialize. And so I even went as far as to record an Overseer's Log for 16 at this point, but I ended up trashing it because within 24 hours, I got definitive notice that we were going to move into the office. So, it was just something I decided to scrap at the last second because why publish it? It was fairly irrelevant. But I'm very happy to be in here. I'm about to sit down in 2 hours with a new interview for Vault Broadcast. So that's very exciting. If you're subscribed to the Overseer Kyle channel, I believe we have 5 interviews that have aired already. And I think this will be the 6th that goes out there. This is going to be with Mr. Wild Wasteland, who you might know from Instagram, TikTok, and maybe some other outlets too that we're going to dive into later today. But generally, what all can we talk about? The space here is lovely. I got to get some serious curtains for this room. I've got this wonderful window next to me. Maybe I can tilt the camera. This is risky. Don't judge the ugly setup of the room. I'm literally trying to hoist blankets over doors and things to create some sound barriers. So you're seeing the closets over there. But there we go. You're looking out into what's kind of the main space here. This is what I'm calling the Overseer's window because it's a glass window wall over there. Let's get you back. Okay, kind of here. Hello. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. Anyway, honestly, thanks for coming back to the series because as you can tell, we really put everything on ice over the last month. Probably well-deserved. It's been horrible weather outside, super humid to the point that the windows in the houses are fogged over. It's literally like we're living in a rainforest climate, and that's not what we should have in Pennsylvania, but that's what's here, and I'm just thankful that I have this space, which is kind of a basement level, so I get that nice natural cool, and there's very few people that work in this building. I'm just very lucky that I've got this space where there's very little foot traffic and the businesses that are here are closed by 5 p.m. So I get complete silence in the evenings, 24/7 key fob access for me, which is really awesome. There were some other places I looked at that wasn't going to be the case. The building would be open 7 to 7. If you're in it, you're in it. If you're out, you're out. And so, that wasn't super cool, but this place has a bathroom. It's got a kitchenette. It's got a lot of room for some D&D tables, and that's ultimately where we're looking to go with this, is to host some more in-person stuff and certainly to branch out online. So thank you all again for bearing with me in a content drought over the last couple weeks. It was just the uncertainty about kills me. I'm a guy that just needs certainty. Once I have an objective, there's very little that'll stop me from getting there. But when I'm at the whims and mercies of other people, getting things signed and all the rest, that is very hard on my brain. I can't operate like that. And this is, of course, these episodes are a lot of therapy sessions, so we'll just go into it for a minute. But to say, I am a guy that in a day and age of texting and all the rest, when it comes to signing a contract, I'm a guy that's let's do this in person. Let's talk about it, negotiate it right now, right here. Let's go. And unfortunately, a lot of the rest of the world has sort of moved away from that, regardless of age. It's not an age thing. It's not like the kids versus the olds. I mean, well, maybe it is still that, but like even older people are falling prey to that idea of like, well, I'll send a text and then, come back a couple days later. And that's not to the place exactly I'm at now. Just in general, the entirety of like office searching and all of that was very piecemeal. And I'm like, gosh, can't we just see it and like sign it and get in there? Because that's who I am. That's who I am. And so that wound up being the case in the very end. I did wind up, signing for this place rather quickly. I was hoping to get in a little earlier. There was some back and forth of why that couldn't be, but got in here July 1st. There was an not overflowing, but backed up toilet that was almost overflowing when I moved in. I think this office place hadn't been rented in 2 years. I don't really know why exactly. It's gorgeous. It doesn't have any street access for people. It's got great stuff for podcasters who don't want foot traffic. But if you were trying to do an actual like brick and mortar store, you couldn't use this space at all. There's just no way for average people to find it. It's in a basement and it's tucked away and secluded. So the good news is, though, it means my dog can exit right to street level. He doesn't have to do stairs. He's a little old gentleman at 13 years old. So, and it made it a lot easier to move my stuff in here that I didn't have to do stairs. Just lovely little area. He's got spots to go to the bathroom out there. It's just nice kind of, and it sort of exits into like fields and almost what feels like countryside. There's houses in the distance, but like, it's just nice space. So anyway, that's me gushing about this. Now, this episode's serving another purpose. I mean, it's our therapy session for sure, but it's also serving as getting my brain back on track because there's a lot of projects I want to get back to launching, from Sunday sessions being our Tales from Tomorrow TTRPG stuff. That's what this episode is an accompaniment to. We'll be picking up with episode 17. Our friends had left off meeting Chop, the super mutant, and I already forgot the names of the regular people that they met. I've completely forgotten them. I have to go back and look at the transcript or something for Sunday. But the friends met a couple settlers down in Appalachia, and that was really good. That was a very fun episode for me. They went to the Tyler County Fairgrounds, fought their very first Scorched, and then that's when they went off to meet the other settlers. So very, very fun. I've been having a blast with the storyline, and probably having a couple weeks off is a good thing every once in a while. We really haven't taken many breaks, especially not multi-week breaks. We're pretty good about staying like right on the tracks with this show, coming back every Sunday. But again, with this move, just from the leasing to actually now moving things, it's a lot. It's a lot. And again, as you can hear, we're going to have some sound dampening issues that go on for a little bit. And I got to get some office furniture for out there too. My hair is a little droopy floopy because of the weather. Just a few minutes outside, my super strong hair gel already failed me. At the I don't want to say request, but at the comment of people on TikTok that said, "Hey Kyle, you already got the Vault Boy look," I went and actually showed a barber the Vault Boy haircut and was like, "Can I get that?" So I have a little tiny bit of bedhead today where it wouldn't fully articulate how I wanted, but we're here. We're moved in. I built this desk last night. I got my computer stuff set up last night, watching the puppos. He's sniffing around some of his spaces. I got a coffee maker I should go and unbox. And I do have a couple little bits of furniture, little things I got online. I wouldn't call them end tables. What do you call a rectangular thing that you just sit up against the wall? I don't know what those are. Like an entry stand, like an entry stand? I don't even know. You find them in people's like entry areas to their houses and stuff like that. Anyway, I got some of those to put here. I think I even got one of those multi-level, kind of like vertical slanty bookshelves. You'll see them. I mean, Kyle, the not interior decorator, as a gay guy, I did not get that gene at all. I do not have it at all. Behind the camera, there is moving blankets over a curtain rod. So yeah, I really don't have it. I don't have it at all. But the backdrop here has been really cool to set up, and I need to record a couple YouTube shorts. Again, I really kind of fell off the wagon with it all, and that makes me sad. This is just my own griping. There's nothing to do with Fallout in particular. Although I will say, Bethesda Shop, you really haven't listed many new items for me to kind of show off. So there's the only external I can give. I will say, though, they did release an amazing pre-order for a shadow box of Nuka-Cola, and that is so cool. I mean, I cannot wait to get it. I can just envision it all kinds of places in this office. That's a neat piece of kit. There's the Bethesda Shop has a high-low sort of thing in my mind. Like, some of their items are kind of tacky, cheesy, and a little disappointing. And then other things they release are like, whoa, that's really freaking cool. And I would say this one's definitely on that end. To be fair to the Bethesda Shop, not too many of their items are tacky, especially lately. I've been pretty happy with what they put up there, and I always want to remind folks you can use our discount codes that you find in the description below. Always, my latest YouTube video has the latest codes for that week. Right now, it's BTales 36, but if that expires, look out for BTales 37. Also, as always, if you want to grab yourself a copy of one of the Fallout books for the TTRPG, we have the code, evergreen code, I should say, BTales for the Modiphius shop. And I don't know if it's still up there, but they were doing a warehouse clearing sort of deal, and they had all the Fallout minifigs, or a lot of the Fallout minifigs, at half off. I seriously considered checking out with like $200 worth of minifigs, but I stopped myself because I'm like, you need a couch, you need this, you need some other things more urgently. Gosh, I just realized right now I had a dream last night where I bought 3 extra Shure SM7Bs. That just hit me right now. I had a lot of weird dreams last night, but that was one of them. Was like, okay, we need them for a table of players. And I did look at a table yesterday while I was couch shopping. I did see this really nice table that would be gorgeous for D&D stuff. It had little, I don't know if you call them leaves because they're not the middle of the table, but it had little wings that extended, and they were ones that they slide out from underneath of it. So they go whoop and they clip in, or not even clip, they just lock into place. It was really neat for that table and all those chairs, though. So what, one table, 6 chairs, I think it's $1,600. It's expensive, folks. I bought a refrigerator. But I look at it all like this, is that, I have been staying with friends, and I will probably continue to be staying with them for the next year at least, and renting this office for the next year. So I'm moving in, and if any of this stuff, if I change directions and I want to take this stuff out to a house that I could get a hold of or something in the future, if that's possible in this world, at least I'll have some furnishings for that. So I'm spending money that I hardly know that I've got. But what do you do in this world? I mean, a little bit of real world stuff, but it's been difficult as a hardcore leftist to be like trying to survive in this world where we're seeing our friends be disappeared off the streets. And, Fallout is inherently a political game. All the people at my table that play with me for the TTRPG are very political people. So, we don't keep quiet about this stuff. And I hope you don't either, right? As someone that's playing and enjoying Fallout materials in whatever form, I really hope you speak out about this stuff. I mean, we have genuine death camps being created. Genuine death camps. Anyone that would deny it, we know why they're denying it, right? We know that they themselves are modern Nazis, and we can shake a stick at it all we want, and we can wish for things to be different. We can move the goalposts, we can change the terms, we could lie about it to our friends and family and say that's not happening, it's not true, but it is. People are being disappeared. We have a death camp created in Florida in the Everglades that they're calling Alligator Alcatraz, but it's more appropriately to call it Alligator Auschwitz. We have Laura Loomer in the United States who's saying, we need to feed the alligators. Alligator lives matter. A direct quote from her tweet. Alligator lives matter. If we start, the next part I'm not going to direct quote because I forget it, but she's like, if we have 65 million meals waiting for them. And those 65 million statistics she's mentioning are the number of Latino people in the United States. So she's literally calling for the deaths of those people. If you say we want to feed alligators 65 million meals while you're calling your concentration camp Alligator Alcatraz, you're threatening to kill 65 million people. And again, regardless of how anyone out there feels about politics, it doesn't matter about our feelings, right? This is about facts over feelings. We can have all these pearl clutchy moments in the privacy of our own closets. I've got 2 closets right here if you want to cry in them for a moment. But we really have to address this stuff head on. And I would be remiss if I didn't do that here, right? If I didn't use whatever platform I've got. But Kyle, you're going to scare people away. I mean, and so what does that mean? What does that matter in this world, right? Like, you're going to scare someone away by talking realistic politics that are directly affecting them? Well, I mean, sure, you can live in a fairyland of delusion where you bleach out your own eyeballs so you don't have to see it, but that doesn't mean it's not happening, right? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil doesn't mean that there's no evil in the world or that it's going to directly impact you and your friends and your family. And so, I don't know. I just got to do what I can to speak up about it, but it makes me feel very odd and a little awkward to be trying to build this endeavor at the same time that those dark, terrible, horrific Holocaust-style elements are remanifesting in our society. But I remind myself that that's why I'm building this platform, is that I would like to get more reach for what we're doing and what we're talking about. And the larger the reach we have, the more people we can impact. And just so you know, our other podcast, Vault Broadcast, where we have on the members from the Fallout community who are creators and all kinds of awesome stuff like that, it's very much a rule or a vetting process element that, I ask those people in their submission form, their intake form. I say, do you have any support for or ties to any white supremacist groups, any fascist groups, anything like that? Do you have any, sympathies for that hardcore, ultra-conservative death cult? And thankfully, I mean, I don't think I have anyone. We had one person right away who signed up, and he was a police lover, and he bailed out, which is good. Actually, he might have actually been for the summer campaign series of the TTRPG stuff, not Vault Broadcast. I have not met a Fallout creator that has ultra right-wing views yet. I'm sure they're out there somewhere, but they have not applied to our show here. And just so you know, I mean, I will never consciously allow anyone with those views onto the show or near the community. I'm a zero tolerance person. Actually, I would go so far as to say I'm a negative tolerance person for that, right? And for me, it's not just like, hey, you have these dangerous death cult views, let's block you from our stuff. My mindset is like, how do we remove you as a death cultist from our society and being able to affect the lives of other people, right? It's not just about like, let's shut them down and shut them out. It's how do we get rid of that? Because you can't have it. You can't say, hey, I'm going to move in and love this neighborhood and we're all going to kumbaya and have great like block parties when your neighbor has like swastika flags and is talking about gassing and killing and genocide and all this other stuff. Like you just, that you'd be foolish to think that you could work with those people. And I'm about to get off my political tangent here, but just to say, I think everyone knows this in their heart of hearts, but I think a lot of people's minds aren't there yet. Is like, the opposition we have is not people that can be talked down at this point. If they didn't get it by now, there's a reason why they haven't gotten it. And for a lot of those people, it's because hate is more important to them than their own financial safety or anything else, or their own personal safety. I mean, again, I'm going to close this out, but just to say that in the United States, we have a ton of people who voted for Trump knowing he was going to deport people. They voted for him because he was going to deport people, and now they themselves are being arrested and deported. It's like, well, I literally can feel zero empathy because you voted for him because you knew he was going to hurt people, and now he's hurting people. And you still, God, I just watched a guy, I think from Florida. His wife is Iranian, and she got detained by ICE, and he's still supporting Trump. And this is not just a Trump thing. Of course, this is an anti-capitalist thing, right? Trump is just the most vile symptom, but it is not the cause. Capitalism is, of course, the cause. Reactionary capitalism at that, or reactionary elements inflamed by capitalism are the problem. And that's where I'll get right back into Fallout and saying, anyone that tells you that Fallout, keep your politics out of Fallout, impossible, physically impossible, because Fallout is a post-capitalist world. Capitalism destroyed the world, period. And you might see politically illiterate people, folks who don't actually study politics, don't actually study economics, They don't use historical or dialectical materialism to guide their understanding of the world. And those people might try and lie to you and be like, that's not true. That's not true. You can do. They're lying. They're lying to save face. They're lying to protect themselves. It might just be simply denial, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'll put a pin in politics for right now. But it's everything. It is Fallout. Again, it's the whole thing from every company in the game. Abraxo, destroying the pit. I mean, the miner strikes in the Appalachian regions. I mean, Fallout is a story of anti-capitalism. Well, I should say specifically a story of capitalism destroying the world, and therefore the message for you to take home, dear viewer and watcher and consumer and player, is to be anti-capitalist, to not allow the ultra-rich and their companies to divide society, to get you to punch down and attack your fellow worker and all the rest. I mean, gosh, look at the police protectrons in Appalachia. For those of you that play Fallout 76, I mean, hell, do I have any of those sound bites? I doubt I do. But if you go and look up, I think even from Fallout 4 is maybe where I got them, the VO lines, the voiceover lines for the protectrons. I mean, they're just crazy about strike breaking and, lethal force has been authorized, stand down or we will execute. I mean, like the stuff that the protectrons are saying is a mockery of the police state that we have. So anyway, let's pull it all back together last second and try and get out of here. Because how long have I been talking? 21 minutes. Okay, these are 30-minute episodes. So that about fits. What else can I say? Get subscribed to both of our Substacks. You can go over to overseerkyle.com and find everything. That's my Notion site that is now got its own URL. Don't know how many of these things I've said or not over the last couple weeks. But you can go over to overseerkyle.com and find everything for Vault Broadcast to Tales from Tomorrow. You can go to vaultbroadcast.com. That sends you straight to the Substack for Vault Broadcast. You can get in on all the interviews, get your name on that mailing list, so that way you don't miss an episode. And you can also go over to tftfallout.com, sends you to the Tales from Tomorrow Substack. Same thing. Get subscribed over there. Get notices for Overseer's logs and all the rest. But I'm going to go ahead and get this one ready to publish here in the next probably half hour or so. Then we're going to have the Mr. Wild Wasteland interview that will come out on Tuesday. I don't even know what that day is yet. Oh, good. A message from Verizon saying here, time to pay your bill. That's great. We love that. We love that. That would be Tuesday the 8th. So look out for that. I do believe also there is a sale going on in the Bethesda shop. Let's go check that live. Bethesda shop. Well, that's not it. I pulled up an image of Bethesda stuff that I have. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, maybe their sale's over already. Well, they've got that beautiful Fallout Nuka-Cola vending machine shadow box. Yeah, that's up on the site. There is still sales for the Nuka-Cola bottles. Maybe it's everything that's not on pre-order looks to be on sale. You could still get one of those Fallout vault-tec, Vault Dweller kits that I think I have behind me somewhere, maybe. That's one of the ones that has a bunch of little goodies, conversation cards, and all kinds of other good stuff in there from envelopes of vault-tec stuff, stickers of Abraxo. It's really cool. Really cool stuff. And go over to the Overseer Kyle YouTube channel to check that out. I did an unboxing and review of it, so that's really nice and up there. I'm probably going to need a little bit more time before I get back to doing any of those unboxings on camera because I don't really have a desk that's that size anymore. I think I have a couple that are pre-recorded, though, so I might get to editing those fairly soon. I think at this point, though, let's put a pin in it. Let's hope that the audio's okay for this episode. We'll hope that it is semi-decent at least. And I want to thank you all for sticking with me as we took 2 to 3 weeks off from doing any content, but much needed. And I got a lot done in real life during that time. So that's all I can say. And I'm very thankful to all of you for it. Look out for more pictures over on TikTok and probably some up on Instagram, mostly on TikTok, though. I'm doing a lot of videos of the office, so stay tuned to that. You can get some tours of it and see some space here. I'll do more of those as time goes on. And the very last thing I will say is a personal request. If you are someone that would like to do a financial contribution, monthly or one-off, to help grow out this office endeavor, we have a coffee page set up, ko-fi.com/overseer Kyle. And on that page, there is going to be a goal to hit $1,000 a month off of coffee. And whenever we hit that, everyone who is a monthly member at that time will get their name on a founder's plaque inside the office. I'm really excited about that. I've got great space for it, great walls, all kinds of awesome stuff. I really want to incorporate that into it. It's going to be a little bit longer of a goal to hit, but especially because I just started the coffee stuff recently. I had this old page from before, but I've revamped it, rehabbed it. But yeah, so that's really fun, really exciting. And I thank you all. If you're someone that would like to support that, it is an option for you. Otherwise, you can call into the show if you're so interested. There is a link to that up on overseerkyle.com. We do have... I think I've got one set up for this, but it's certainly set up for Vault Broadcast and others. Just go into your favorite podcast there, and there's a link to call into the show, and I can put those voice messages in here. So that's going to be all for today. Lots of news, lots of updates, but a lot of time that we haven't communicated with each other. So thank you very much for it, and you stay safe out there in the wasteland. Bye-bye.